Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the It's Pizza Time podcast. I am your host, iNDiGO. Today I'm joined by my co-host, Victor. Victor, I think your mic is off again.
I brought my son, guys. Look.
Oh, there we go.
It's Father's Day.
Okay, we're recording this on Father's Day. Is that your Dobby plush?
It is. Here, let me grab him.
Oh my
Bring him up.
Okay, Victor.
Hey, now I see it.
If you didn't know, he also has his own son. So
your grandfather. Nice. All right. Also my co-host John.
Hello.
All right, and our special guest, Sihk.
Yo, what's up, dude? What's up?
Welcome. So would you like to quickly, I guess, give a brief explanation who you are for, anybody who doesn't know that already?
Yeah, dude. So I honestly don't know. Like, I was just on the internet selling my nudes, and they just came up to me and they're like, "Yo, can I get you on my podcast?" I was like, "What? Yeah, sure, dude." Like, nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, I make music, and that's about it, I think.
All right, that was a pretty good explanation. I mean, I can't really say that was. All right. Man, I didn't expect that at all. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the precursor question thing I ask everybody on the show. Because as being the It's Pizza Time podcast, I have to ask, what is your favorite kind of pizza?
Okay, so my favorite pizza. This is the pizza I used to like order all the time when I was in college. I lived in the US for a little bit too, so um it's from Domino's, and I would always order like white sauce with bacon and spinach. Sounds super weird, but that's like my favorite thing. Tastes like vomit. That's why I like it.
That's nice. Like, I was like trying to picture like how like that there's like I can't imagine that like tastes too great, and then like you saying that. I don't know. Okay,
I
yeah.
had to write that down.
It's good. It's good.
I had
Like,
to
trust
write
me,
that
it's
down.
good. If you like stuff that just tastes like everything and like something you would regurgitate, you would like that.
All right, I could tell where your taste
Order
that.
that.
Yeah. So, like, how does that work? Like, I mean,
Yeah, how does it taste? Like, what's
like actually, like, does it just actually taste like vomit? Is that just like a thing that you're
Mm,
into?
no, but like it tastes like, first of all, the white sauce is just like Alfredo sauce or something, right? It's just like
Yeah.
creamy. And then you got the spinach, which gives it like that little bitterness, and then the bacon is just like fat and like super salty. I don't know. Yeah, it just tastes good, dude. You gotta try it. Just order one.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Bet.
Because I can't even imagine what it tastes.
When
Yeah, I did it by accident too. I was like super bored. I was just choosing like random shit. And I was like, okay, tastes good.
I feel that.
Gotta be open-minded.
I mean, like, my favorite pizza is also like I got it. I talked about this in another episode, but it's this like from one of these pizza places that I used to work at actually.
Okay.
It was ricotta cheese, and then on top of it, it was rigatoni pasta noodles, and then it was tomato sauce drizzled on top.
With
With
just
like,
all carbs.
with like basil, and now I was like, I got it because I looked at it initially, and I was like, that looks like shit. It does not look good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll try it, and then like I've always ordered it now every time I've gone there because it's actually really good. So,
Is that place still open? Do you think they
uh,
for quarantine?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. If anybody's within the vicinity of Mulberry Street Pizzeria, let us know if they're still open. In the comments or something. I
Wait,
don't know.
where are you guys based in?
We're
LA,
we're all Los Angeles or like around that area.
Okay.
California, essentially.
Down in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like,
I've only been there once.
and Anaheim is just south or LA. That's really well all it is, John.
What'd you think of LA?
First time I got like, so I went there April last year, And then when I landed and I went out of the airplane to like in the airport area, I was like, whoa, this is exactly like GTA 5.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Other than that, I don't know, man. It's a pretty depressing place in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
I was I was on like a bunch of Ubers to just go all over the place, and I do Uber Pool a lot because it's just so expensive. Everything in America
yeah.
Oh
compared to
yeah.
here, it's just expensive, right? And every time I'm in an Uber and there's another passenger, they're always like, "Yeah, I'm an actor." I'm like, "No, you're not, dude." Like, yeah, I've been in like 50 commercials, man. And I'm like, all right, can
Okay.
you show me some? And it's like a millisecond they're in there, you know? I'm like, all right, cool, man.
Yeah. I mean,
But that's LA.
if I got paid, like, if I could get paid for like being a part of something, like for a millisecond, that would be nice.
Mm.
Like, I mean, it probably still
Yeah.
works.
Low-key, they're probably just background actors, though. But
Yeah.
I honestly haven't experienced that often. I mean, then again, I'm not really taking Uber Pool, but I'm taking public transport all the time, so I don't hear that
Yeah.
much about acting. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a little bit higher on the price range there.
Yeah.
Going from like
Like-
$2 on the metro to like a couple bucks.
When
I think it's mainly like if you're in a car, you just end up talking to people, right?
Right.
yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
Uber pools have like been the places where I met like probably both the coolest yet and sometimes the shittiest people. It's
Yeah,
like
for
both
sure.
at the same time. Like fucking I had a worst one was probably like I hopped into an Uber pool and like the two seats in the back were taken by like this couple, and the person that was sitting behind me was this girl, and I'm really tall. I'm really tall, like compared to most people. I'm like 6'4", so I'm a really tall guy. I have long legs, and I sat in the front seat, and basically the front seat was already pushed like so far forward that like me sitting down, my knees would hit like the glove compartment, and my feet didn't even touch the floor because I couldn't even bend my feet to fit. And like
Yeah.
so I was like,
Tall people problem.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to move the seat back, and I hadn't even moved the seat back a centimeter, like barely anything before he's like, could you not? Before I hear, could you not? I have no space, from the girl behind me, who's probably like 5'5" or something, and she's got like so much leg room, and I'm like, I just like I don't want to contest it. I'm just like I'm too tired. I'm like I don't want to deal with this.
Was it Karen, dude?
I
totally Karen move right there.
I don't think she didn't look like a Karen, but she acted like a Karen.
It's a young Karen
Yeah.
in the making.
Yeah, young Karen in the
Yeah,
making.
there it is. Oh yeah, but yeah, you definitely. I mean, I feel like that would be like a lot better than probably the worst situations you have on like public transport though.
Yeah, there was this one time I was coming back from school, and this guy hops on the bus, rips his t-shirt off, and starts like wrapping it around his hands, like how boxers wrap their hands, and he starts screaming that he's gonna kill someone on the bus. And then
Dude.
like, I mean, not the police. The bus driver's like, "What the fuck? What am I supposed to do?" I mean, no one can really do anything. So I ended up getting off on the next stop because I don't want to die, right? But then the next bus I took, I saw like I stood there and waited, and the cops showed up and like surrounded and pulled. But yeah, that's how public transport is in LA. Crazy shit.
Yeah, I never tried the public transport in LA, but I used to live in Seattle, and there was a lot of weird shit over there too. Like one memory that always comes to mind when I think about public transport is like when I was just sitting in it was like a bus, it wasn't even a train. I was sitting in the bus, and this guy in front of me, like this Asian dude also, he had no fingers, and he was obviously drunk as fuck, right? And he kept coming up to me, and he's like, "Hey, you want to touch my hand?" And I'm like, "I really don't, man. Like, why are you asking me to touch your hand, bro?" But yeah, that's one thing. And he kept bothering me, and he started like when I got off the bus, he started following me. I'm like, "All right, this guy's really weird, man." Like, and yeah,
He just wants to
Yeah, he
feel
just ran.
something, man.
he's just
Why
like
don't you
touching my
touch his
hand.
hand, bro? Yeah.
It's like a fetish. I don't know, man.
Dude,
Seattle's weird.
that's crazy. Seattle's weird, but Seattle's nice though. They got a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like the rain.
They-
It's depressing, you know.
They have a lot of ice cream shops. That's what
You need to.
yeah.
When it's
yeah.
raining all the time, you gotta stay happy, right? So you just Uber Eats, Postmates some ice cream over.
Yeah, but it's like
Dude, yeah.
the ice cream places do so well in like the winter. Because I went during the winter and it's like cold as
Bro,
shit,
it's
but
sweet shit
everybody
slaps.
gets ice cream.
Yeah, dude. Ice cream slaps whenever.
I mean, that's fair.
The only
but, like,
thing-
yeah.
Only thing I went to eat like a lot in Seattle was like this thing. It's like In-N-Out, but it's called Dick's Burgers. And yeah, it's the best thing you can say to someone like, "Hey, you want to go get some dick?"
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude,
But,
honestly.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Vicky,
go on.
No,
I was gonna say since you're in Indonesia, what's life out there compared to how life in the States is?
It's really weird here, man. Like I always, it's pretty similar in a sense. You just have to think about it. Like, so I always compare Indonesia to America to almost like 1-to-1, right? Except that instead of like a Christian mainly country over here, it's like a Muslim mainly country, you know?
Right.
But everything else, like mindset wise and people being dumb and shit, it's the same thing.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't know, just yeah, it's the same thing. Way dirtier. Everything's way cheaper, and yeah, that's Indonesia.
yeah,
How are shows out there? Like raves and EDM shows and whatnot.
So I would like again, the music taste is almost 1-to-1 to the US. Like anything that would be big in the US would be big over here. So like anything that's on the top charts in the US, like fucking what's his name, Lil Baby or whatever his name is. Like he, as soon as he gets big in the US or he's in the charts over there, people over here would be playing in the clubs and we'd be listening to it on the radio. But then when it comes to like bass music and rave music, it was big at one point. I would say 2000 fucking was 2020 now, so I'm trying to think. All I know is after Rich Brian got big, like electronic music kind of went down over here, and everything everything kind of switched over to hip hop. But there is still sort of a scene like house music, techno is still big. Dubstep is like very niche, and then hard dance is very niche also. But hip hop is like everywhere.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
As someone who's like lived in both Indonesia and the States, like, do you have like a preference over which, like, is there one that you liked more?
I prefer living here just because it's cheaper. Like, literally, if you want to rent a house that's like 3 bedrooms, it's like $2,000 a year, right?
Damn.
Bruh, that's crazy.
And
We're coming.
Yeah.
We're moving. All right, we're coming.
Yeah, dude. It's
Piece of
$2,000 a
packaging.
year.
That's my fucking 1 month rent plus more. We do
Dude,
like
yeah.
2,500. Fucking ridiculous for 1 month.
And like, imagine you can eat like a full meal for like 80 cents. That's like how cheap it is over
80
here.
cents?
Yeah.
We're coming. No, listen. Pizza Time is moving to Indonesia.
But pizza is expensive. Well, no, actually, pizza is cheaper.
I mean,
than in the US.
relative, yeah. So
Yeah, but like culturally, as in like with just the shit that goes on, I like the US better. It's just kind of more fun. There's like a lot more people experimenting with stuff. Over here, there's a lot of people who just bandwagon on shit. So yeah,
you definitely have those types of people here too. It's just I feel like because there's so many different cultures and people, at least in LA, that it kind of seems bigger than it actually is in a way. I don't know.
yeah. Like when I was in LA, like you could meet people who are like into very different tastes of music, right?
Yeah.
Over here, I would say like 90% of the people just listen to top 40 stuff. So if I played in a club, and last year and the years before, I was mainly doing like trap and like dubstep and all that stuff, I would still have to throw in like mainstream music. Like I would play like, I don't know, what's his name? Dude, I keep forgetting like people's DJ names. Fuck. Okay, for example, I play a sudden death track, right? Then I would have to follow it up with like Ariana Grande just to keep the crowd there. Yeah.
What?
That's
And then the managers would go up to you and they'll be like, "Hey, can you play something people can sing along to?" I'm like, "Dude, are you trying to run a club or a fucking karaoke?" Like, you know?
How do you
But
go
yeah,
from there though? Like, cause sudden death is like some dark stuff, and then like, how do you go from that to
it
like Ariana Grande?
you
I'm trying
just
to imagine the
people like it.
transitions.
Yeah. So just imagine like I would transition it this way. Like you would have like the hard drop, and then I would just like put in like an empty part during the Ariana Grande intro, and it just goes into that kind of like people are like sort of like, okay, the drop is done. Oh my god, Ariana Grande, you know, like that's like, that's what it's like. Um, yeah, and there's just it's just super weird. Festivals though, you can play whatever you want. And there are some clubs that just lets you play whatever you want, but most of the clubs, um, they're like bottle service clubs, like with sofas and shit. So you have to like
Mm.
make sure people stay and the clubs don't get pissed at
I
you.
see.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
that makes sense. I mean, yeah, we don't really have too many like I guess bottle service clubs over here. We have like
Mm.
probably a couple if you're like in, but mostly that's kind of like a VIP thing. It's like
To say,
if
I was gonna
if
say
at
that.
all. Yeah.
That's why I liked about the US. It's like you go to a club to like actually fucking dance and like have fun and get fucked up. Over here, it's more like I go to a club cause it's cool and I want to show it off on my social media.
Oh,
And yeah, so it's kind of lame. And
I mean,
I
people
don't know,
do that
man.
here
A
too,
lot of
but yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but it's not.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not priority.
Actually,
Hey.
there was
Okay.
one thing I went to in LA that was super dope. It was called Soft Leather, and it was like a BDSM fucking party. I went with like Little Texas. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it's like in a warehouse, and like everyone was wearing black, and then there's this one corner where everyone's getting spanked and shit, and they're playing like hard techno. I'm like, this is the shit. Like you would never see this in Jakarta, you know?
I mean, that definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Victor have a friend that would totally be into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I like
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, that's kind of also the cool thing about LA. You can like live here for, like I've lived here for almost all of my life. Like and like you'll find things that you'll find things that you've like never heard of or never like experienced.
Yeah.
Like today, like I mean, sorry. Go
Oh no, I was just about to say it's like it's totally different from here. Like you stay here for like a couple months and you basically experience everything because like all the clubs are the same. All you know, a lot of the shit's just the same all the time. So yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say like I mean like even for me like I've been here maybe 10 years, but we'll be just like walking around like downtown or whatever, and we'll take a turn, and then we're like in a completely different part of town that we've never even seen before. And it's really cool to explore those places because again, not everybody tells you about them, right? And I like to go to more of the things that are not as popular, like tourist spots, but sort of kind of still are. Like I guess like the Grove and stuff. What Grand Central Market's really cool. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they got good food there.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of still underground. I mean there's other places as well, but it's mostly places that if you would search up tourist spots in LA, like you wouldn't be able to find them, but they're still really cool.
Yeah, you would if you look that up, you'd probably just get like Hollywood sign and fucking Santa Monica Pier.
oh dude,
Yeah, I hate Hollywood. Yeah.
Hollywood, bro. Like yeah, when I went there for the first time, I was like, I want to see what Hollywood like. You know that street is like. And then my other manager who lived there, he was like, yeah, I fucking hate that place. I'm like, why? Like, I want to just look at it. And then I went there. I'm like, I get it. It sucks. Like,
Yeah, that's like every time like I have friends that they're like I want to see Hollywood. I'm like it's not good. They're
Like I mean we've lived here for so long that when we think of Hollywood we just think of like straight trash, right? But like
yeah,
people like outside of the country are just like living in the middle of like nowhere, like I don't know, like North Carolina where I was from, like people look at Hollywood and they're like, oh, movies and shit, actors and whatnot, and then we're just like, once we move here and we see it, it's literally just trash. Like there's loud noises all the time, like every every block there's a cap shop, smoke shop, or just like some tattoo place, and then everything's just fucking dirty. So I don't know.
I drove there with like to drop off some people, and it was hectic, even like traffic and everything. I did not want to come back there. I'm like, this is not a good place.
No, there was this one time that we were passing by because there is a Dave and Buster's, and it's like Chuck E. Cheese but for like adults basically. And we were driving by, and there was like a nail salon that was getting raided for like drugs, like as we were going there. So yeah, it's like I don't know, not a fun place to be.
I've never been to like Venice Beach though. Like I heard that place is also very shitty or something.
Venice
It's
is
not
Venice
as
is sketchy, but Venice can be kind of nice if you know where to go.
especially during the day. It's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
during the night, that's when it really gets sketchy. You do have to mind the heroin needles possibly in the water, but I mean,
Oh damn.
besides that, you're good.
Yeah. All right. I guess on that note, let's move on to. I want to talk a little bit about like your music and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, because currently you're with Barong, right?
Yes.
So, how did that come about? Like, because I mean,
Um.
I've this is actually something that I'm not entirely too sure of because I've heard like from a lot of different sources, like how like that I've heard something about like a lot of memes and shit, but I'm not really.
Okay. So, um, I got into Barong because like I used to produce for Rich Brian and Nicki and all those people, right? And this one time, Yellow Claw was like, I was already friends with people that were working at Barong, just because they reached out to me and they're like, hey, can you bring Brian to like the Yellow Claw gig so they can like perform together like one song? I'm like, okay, sure. And then met Yellow Claw backstage, showed them my music, and they said, yeah, like send four tracks over and let's get an EP done. And that's how I got into Barong. The meme thing, I bet you saw on Instagram, right? Like where it's just like, oh, Sihk got into Barong Family because of his dank memes,
Yeah,
right?
I saw stuff like related to that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, just judging on your personality, I'm like, I could see that. That's like that was like the thing.
Yeah.
It's like I could, that would make sense.
But little did you know that meme, I made it and I posted on Barong social.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Cause like that's like my side job, like doing like Barong Family like random posts and stuff.
Dude,
So a lot of the times when
I've been swindled.
Yeah, dude. Like if you go on Barong Family and you see like these random ass posts where it's like high key memes, that's basically like yeah, I do that for Barong also. So
I mean, that's like
yeah.
that's like a fun job, probably.
It is. And I get paid, which is fucking dope.
You
Like
get paid to make
making money
memes.
from me. Yeah, exactly,
Right.
dude.
That's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, like, I mean, now you're with like Barong and stuff like that. So, were you before Barong? Were you doing like, were you with like any other labels, or were you just like exclusively like producing for other artists?
So before I was sick, actually, I was doing like other stuff. I was making a progressive house, kind of just self-releasing that stuff. Before that, I was doing more like hardcore, like anger fist type stuff. But that was like when I was super young and it was totally shit. Um, so I guess yeah, Barong would be like the first label that really fucked with me and like wanted to release my music. Other than I guess 88, but that's just me like producing for a couple people. Uh, yeah. So Barong, and I have to clarify that like Barong Family is like not an exclusive thing. So like when you get to release something on Barong, it's like a one-time off thing. You know, like you can release and then you can release on another label, no problem. Like that's the cool thing
Yeah.
about how Yellow Claw does their whole thing.
Yeah.
So if I release my EP on Barong, I still can, I release stuff on like Clash and like Tribal Trap and stuff, and there's no problem with that.
Got it. So it's more of a distribution in a sense.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But there is like the core group of Barong. Like if you notice, like there's a lot more. There's a group of people that's always invited to like the studio weeks and like to do the shows and stuff, and that's like the core group. And then
Yeah.
there's like the like outer ring of people who are just like sort of in Barong, and then like one release they don't do it anymore and stuff like that. So
Would you say Moxie is a part of that inner ring?
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. They're like one of the OGs. Like
Right.
Moxie, Mighty Fools, Sesko was in Barong, Mike, and all. Yeah. So the first documentary, that was like the core group, and then afterwards, there were more people who came in. Some people decided they want to do stuff other labels, and yeah,
Yeah, like
just keeps evolving.
yeah. I mean, I definitely think that's cool. Like seeing or seeing artists like throw stuff out on different labels. I know Nonsense does a lot of that. Like it's kind of
Yeah,
all over the place.
I think
So
Nonsense is actually pretty new to the whole Barong like ecosystem.
I think so. I think when they must have joined like sometime, I want to say either last year, or the year before. I don't know, but definitely like more recent. But I do
Yeah,
like that they can just kind of be a little bit all over the place when it comes to like just
yeah,
Barong
exactly.
is super cool with doing that.
I think that's the best way as an artist, right? You don't want to really get tied down to like one thing. It's really cool to like fuck with a group of people like heavily. But I don't think you want to just focus on like, okay, I did a release on Barong. I just only want to do stuff on Barong. Like you need to like expand yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yo, by the way, can you guys hear that banging or
No,
okay,
No.
good. Yeah.
I
You
can't.
can.
What is what's going on in your? Is there like a domestic dispute going on behind you?
Nah. It's just I think someone upstairs is just like fucking banging a wall or something.
Tap dancing.
Having a good time. All right, Victor, John, you guys got anything on your minds right now?
Go for it, John.
How did you come up with your name?
Uh, so like Brian had his first gig at a club here called Hide and Seek, and I was actually very sick that day. I was wearing a mask, and I was coughing, and I was dying basically. And backstage, it wasn't even a backstage; it was just like a little area near the stage. I was just like lying down, basically like almost passing out, and the bartender kept coming up to me. He's like, are you sick? Are you sick?" I'm like, you know what? That's a cool name. And then I switched the C to an H because like back in like the MySpace days, again we used to write sick Sihk, and then yeah, I kind of regret naming myself that just because I found out like couple months after that if you switch the K and the H, it becomes like a religion, and it's like just super
See,
hard to
yeah.
find me. Yeah, like if you Google me, you have to write DJ Sihk
Yeah.
or not.
Mhm.
Like it'll be like, did you mean Seek?
Yeah.
Like
I looked like I've looked you up on YouTube before, and it just shows me results for SIKH, and it's like then you have to like click on show results for SIHK.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. I don't know how to fix that, which is really annoying.
and anybody I've asked has like said that it's pronounced Seek, and I'm like I don't know about that. I
No.
don't know about that one. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just
Yeah, yeah, it's sick. I don't know. I get like I'm not really annoyed by it when people say Seek because there's been worse. Like my Instagram handle used to be SIHK66, right?
yeah.
So like everyone used to be like, "Oh, six." They'll just call me Six. I'm like, it's not six. Like it's
666.
yeah, 666. Yeah, I stopped with that fucking 666 shit. It got really corny, dude. Like at first it was like, cool, edgy. I'm an edge
Yeah.
lord. Yeah, after a while it's just like, fuck, boring.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. At least people aren't saying like psych. So
Psych. Nah, I've never heard that one before.
okay, that's good. I'm glad people aren't that brain dead.
Yeah.
So in terms of quarantine, what have you been doing in terms of just like making music? Are you working on some stuff behind the scenes? More maybe shows? I don't know.
So Indonesia technically we don't have quarantine, like which is really bad considering how bad it is over here. The government kind of just like decided, you know what, fuck everyone. Like, yeah, like they tried to do quarantine, but everyone was like, nah, we don't really want to do that, and everyone just kept going out. And so the government now is like, fuck it. The whole hospitals over here, they're just like, fuck it. If people die, people die. But I've been
Yeah.
staying at home. Um, I've been working on a lot of happy hardcore, which is like super different from like what I've been doing before. And
Mhm.
honestly, like I prefer making happy hardcore compared to like the stuff I did before. And yeah, that's one thing I do.
Yeah.
And then Final Fantasy 14. Do you guys
Okay.
know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've been
like I'm
playing
on that. I'm on that like every day, dude.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's my routine, I guess, other than like jerking off. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, I mean, yeah. Happy hardcore. Uh, I'm trying to segue. You know. Um. But yeah. So, do you think you're gonna go like to happy hardcore more often now? Like, do that.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I will still have a couple of things coming out this year that's not really in the hard dance spectrum of things, just because I finished them like last year and I just want them out and I don't want to waste tracks, you know. Um, but definitely like next year, I think it will be. I wouldn't say just happy hardcore. It just be like faster, four to the floor music, um, more into hard dance, you know, but definitely less bass music.
Mm. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think happy hardcore is such like an undervalued genre. There's
Yeah.
I really like it. Like I love my bass music and I love all that good stuff, but like every once in a while there's like a really good happy hardcore track that comes out and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, finally. Some nice shit." Is the-
I just feel like happy hardcore like it was big at one point, you know, like maybe like in Holland in the 90s happy hardcore was really big and in the UK at one
UK.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it kind of just faded off and I see a lot of the happy hardcore guys who were doing happy hardcore in the past, they're doing more like hard style now. Like Gammer is kind of doing everything. Darren Style is more like hardcore. There's like Searle, he still does like happy
Oh
hardcore.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
man is though he's what a meme.
Right.
Yeah, dude. But dude, like right now, he's like one of probably like my top inspirations for like the happy hardcore I make. I'm gonna try to make it not as uh weeboo oriented,
Right. Because I was gonna
you
say,
know?
whenever I think about happy hardcore, I kind of like zone into that mindset, which is kind of
Exactly. It's like there's a stigma, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
happy hardcore, you probably jerk off to hentai, like.
yeah. I mean, he did make that song, so
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's the start of it,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
But
most people will know that over like Gamma or Darren Styles, unless you're like invested in the genre, then you're like not really gonna
yeah,
not really gonna know anything besides that.
exactly. So yeah, I'm just I don't know, experimenting. We'll see where that takes me. Usually I get like if I do too much of something, I get bored of it and I just end up switching to something else.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I enjoy making it so far. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah. I guess. Do you think your happy hardcore will like find a place on Barong, or do you think you'd have to find another label for it?
At this point, like Barong kind of just lets me do whatever I want, which is pretty dope. And I've spoken to Nils from Yellow Claw like a month ago. No, it's not even a month ago. It's like 2 weeks ago. So I was supposed to get my next EP, like this year's EP, done by like February. I haven't done it yet. Like, so I have to get it done by the end of the month, and it's a lot of happy hardcore, hard dance. It's I wouldn't say all of them is happy hardcore. There's like probably two happy hardcore tracks, like one French core track, and like the other one's just straight up like hard style sort of.
All right. Gotcha. All right. Victor, you got anything? John, you got anything? John, you've been kind of quiet.
go for John.
You've asked one question. Come on, John. Come on. Spit it out, John.
You got this.
Yo, Rice Gum's really quiet today.
Better watch. I'm about to drop a diss track on you soon. No. I don't see. I mean, like, what got you into EDM? Like, what got you to like making EDM in general? Because like you could have gone for like rap or like any other genre.
Yeah. I guess I can like start from like why I got into making music in general.
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
Like I was maybe like 13 in high school and I was like, how do I get girls? you know?
Okay.
And so I mean I like music. I've played bass guitar and stuff like that. But I was like, how do I get girls with this thing that I like? So I ended up making a deathcore band. And like that definitely did not get me girls. Like, from deathcore, one of my band members, I was young and I was kind of stupid too, and I was like, I shouldn't have taken it so seriously. Like I was telling my band, I was like, oh my god, guys, we should like make an album and then like we should go on tour. But how the fuck are you supposed to tour when you're 14-year-old, right? And
Right.
one of the guitarists, he was like, dude, we'll never make it big because we're Asians. And I'm like, what?
What?
Wait,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's like one line that like made me like kind of pissed off. And I'm like, dude, if you don't believe in yourself, then you're never gonna make it. So like I told them like, you know what, I don't wanna be in this band anymore after like 2 years. And then I was like kind of like depressed and shit, hanging out with my friend. And then he had GarageBand on his laptop. So like I started remaking like the electronic music part of like this band Asking Alexandria?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I used to listen to them a lot, like Attack Attack, Asking Alexandria, all these like fucking scene core kids music, right? And like I remade the electronic music part and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then after that I found out about Masters of Hardcore, and that's like when I just started like making that type of music, even though it was really bad, like whatever I was making at that point. Then I found out about Skrillex and like did like electronic music more, and then I got, yeah, that's the start. And then I started DJing and shit, and then
just went
Yeah.
off from there.
Yeah.
went out from there.
I mean, based on like the other interviews we've done, I feel like every artist has been like influenced by Skrillex at some point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. I
Yeah.
think anyone like within the age group of like 18 or like even like 16-year olds to like 20, like end of 20s,
Right.
they're probably like influenced by Skrillex by a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
because we did Code Pink yesterday. I don't remember how old he said he was, but he said he's like mid-20s. So yeah,
Yeah.
that seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, he's definitely done a lot for everything. It's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of things in electronic music would not be where they are without like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites.
Absolutely.
I think Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites kind of did the whole build up and drop thing. Like I wouldn't say that it was the first track to do it, but it was definitely the track that made it a popular thing. Because if you listen to like house music in the past, there was like not really a build up. It's just like, like a verse and then like
Yeah.
a bridge that's kind of empty, and it just goes into like this like chorus part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, there was like some stuff, but like there was nothing that even like reached that popularity. I mean, like there was old,
Yeah.
like there was like, I mean, Dead Mouse had been like a thing for a couple years at that point, and
Yeah.
like, I mean, Bass Hunter was around like in the early 2000s, but like other than
Yeah.
that, there wasn't really anything that I guess brought electronic music into like the mainstream spotlight.
Yeah, I mean Tiesto, David Guetta, right?
Yeah.
They've been around for like ever. But I would say the structure of like electronic music, definitely like Skrillex was one of the first to, create this structure that everyone follows now
Mm.
in a way.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the build up, drop, and then break again.
Yeah.
And it's funny how like a lot of people are saying like they're inspired by him, because like I remember being back in the day listening to it, and then people like talking shit to me about listening to Skrillex, right? And I think that goes for a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you listen to Skrillex? What the fuck's wrong with you? So you're
Yeah,
not
like-
screamo death. Like I'm like, no.
Yeah,
But-
but
yeah.
I feel like the only like downside of Skrillex's popularity back in like like Scary Monsters, Nice Sprites is that like now it's liking dubstep is now considered like by many people to be like a phase. It's not meant to be
Yeah.
like a consider.
Mhm.
It's not really considered to be a thing that you can actually enjoy. It's a thing like you like it for a couple years. Like everybody has a dubstep phase, and like but nobody really
Yeah.
likes it for that long. I have been listening to it for um I've been listening to electronic music since like I was like 10 years old. So
Hmm.
definitely a while. But um like
How old are you?
I am 18. So
Oh, so like 8 years ago.
yeah, so like 2010.
Yeah.
Uh
Damn. I feel
and
old.
yeah, it's like you're good, man. It's like but like most people cuz when I got to high school, people were like, "But you're still in your dubstep phase." That's like what people would always tell me is like, "You're still in your dubstep phase." It's like, "Dude, you're not going to like this in a few years." Here I am like a certified college dropout. Uh still like in college or still like in fucking dubstep.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just like how there's like that emo phase. I mean, people still do like emo music, right? Or I shouldn't
Yeah.
even be, but yeah, there is probably a stigma behind it, and I feel like dubstep gets the brunt of it, at least in the EDM world. It's like you have the like I don't know elitists talking shit about house music and stuff like that, but other than that, it's mostly dubstep that really gets all the hate for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how I see it is whatever you were listening to when you were like 10 until you're like 19 or like 20, that's the music that's going to like stay with you forever. You know, like when I was 10 years old, I was like, listening to like the emo shit, like My Chemical Romance and The Used and whatever. And that's still like the stuff I listen to now, like when I'm just chilling, you know?
Right.
I'm not gonna go and listen to like give me like a new artist. Like what's a new artist now?
Fucking
EDM or just in general?
Just in general. Maybe like
Oh,
Cardi B
hey.
or something.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah,
Cardi
Cardi
B.
B.
Doja Cat.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Doja
that's
Cat.
thinking.
Yeah, like
Dua
stuff
Lipa.
like that. I'm not gonna listen to it on the daily basis. Like I'll hear it like sometimes, and I wouldn't pay that much attention to it.
Yeah.
But the stuff I listen to is still the stuff I listened to when I was a teenager. Like even if My Chemical Romance put out a new album today, I wouldn't be listening to that album as much as like the Black Parade or Three Cheers for a Sweet Revenge or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just how it works.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I didn't really grow up. I didn't really get to a point where I like developed my own taste in music until I was like 10 and found like electronic music. But because when I was growing up, I only heard my dad my dad refused to play songs from the radio. That was like the thing.
Okay.
He hated he refused unless it was the 80s station or his own playlist, which was all 80s. So pretty much my entire childhood, I grew up with 80s music. So
Yeah.
I vibe while I vibe with electronic music a lot. I vibe a fuck ton with like 80s music because that's just kind of like what I grew up with. But I never really had like a top 40s phase, I guess. You know, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I don't think top 40 is a phase. I think it's like when you have the lack of
Taste,
I don't know.
or just like
No, I wouldn't say taste either because like
When you don't
everyone
have-
likes their own music, right?
Yeah, I guess it's
When
like when you lack the drive to like go out and look for it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're just like, okay, I just want to take things at it as it is and just listen to the radio and just like listen to what everyone else is listening to, you're going to end up being that type of person just that listens to whatever's popular. And nothing's wrong with that. Like
Yeah.
it's cool. Some people just like to experiment more, and that ends up being the people who listens to weirder, quote unquote, weirder music.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I'm trying to think of like, I mean, I've definitely probably met people that have only listened to popular, but that I've also met people that don't listen to music at all, which is even weirder to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
So-
freaking weird, dude.
I don't get that. It's like I get maybe it's like if I don't listen to music, maybe it's like maybe you don't have time or something. But the thing I don't understand is the people that say I don't like listening to any music, like that they don't actually enjoy it, and I'm like, how? It's like it's such a foreign concept to me, because it's
Yeah.
it's like why not? because when I listen to music, I get like this kind of euphoric feeling when I listen to a track that I love. It's just like my like I get like goosebumps, like the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I'm like, oh my god, this track is amazing. I just feel great. But like I can't imagine not only not feeling that, but just feeling like shivers anytime like you listen to some like music.
I don't think they necessarily feel shivers about listening to music, but I feel like it's more of like a choice, and
It's like
because I feel
yeah.
a lot of people that are working a lot probably don't have as much time to listen to music, and then they're just like, yeah, I don't have time to listen to music, so I don't listen to anything, right? But I feel like everyone sort of has to, in a way, listen to music, or like does, but like doesn't.
Yeah,
always.
you can't avoid it, dude. Like you go to a mall and it's just there. You know, you listen to elevator music or something.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, then again,
But
sometimes the malls taste in music. Wow, I just combined taste and choice like 3 times. But taste in music is probably not the greatest.
It's mostly like
I forgot.
non-copyright shit.
yeah, okay. So that's the funny thing. When I went to the U.S., is like music, like you call elevator music muzak, right? That fucking like the jazzy pianos and random bell sounds.
Mhm.
But over here, dude, the malls, they don't really care about copyright laws. So you can just play whatever you want. And so you're like in a mall and suddenly Travis Scott plays and you're just like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah,
And
we have that in malls too, but it's like in malls it's kind of like they have this particular like radio. They're like
Yeah, I was gonna say
using like
radio.
Sirius XM or something, and then they're just like
There's
that's
licensing
over the
agreements and
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure malls over here just uses like Spotify or something.
That'd be great.
Like you go to like a bookstore and suddenly like the track that everyone always plays when we were still able to go outside to malls and stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, malls are closed even though like people are still going out. But
Yeah.
when we were able to go to malls last year, like the 2 tracks they always play, actually like 3 tracks, they always play at least like a new Rich Brian track, always. And then they always play Yellow Claw Till It Hurts everywhere. And then they'll have like a Nicki song and like maybe Bruno Mars. But like those 3 tracks, you go into a mall and you wouldn't even be surprised when you hear it. Just like that yellow motherfucking claw, and you're like, what the fuck? You know,
They got
like-
that pride for sure.
yeah,
That's awesome. Like I think like having I guess a taste in electronic music, it's like if you hear something that you like on the radio or like in a mall or like in somewhere that like it's not your playlist, you're gonna be like, oh, that's fucking awesome, you know, like somebody has my taste, because it's like it's kind of
yeah,
rare.
exactly.
I heard like a 7 Lions track at the mall once and I like almost freaked out. I was like, whoa. I'm like, why?
How does that work, by the way? Like in the U.S., like when some like a mall plays your song, do you have to pay for it? Like the mall has to pay for it?
I'm feeling
So there's probably like
yeah, I'm feeling like
lot
since
of-
it's radio, it's not the mall's job or anything. I feel like they just
Oh,
have
okay.
like probably like some kind of agreement or whatever with the what's it called, with the fucking like the radio company that's doing it or whatever. Because with malls here, a lot of them are like each mall is like, it's a bunch of malls that are owned by like one company. Like Westfield, for example, is like just a
Yeah.
company that owns just owns like these malls. It's like they don't actually have a store; they just are the store. The mall is their store. It's like that's kind of what it is. So I feel like they have like must have an agreement with like. I personally don't really know. I'm just thinking. I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they probably have an agreement with the radio station, because the radio station probably keeps track of what they play, and then they go
That's
back
true.
to the artist and then give out what distribution.
Yeah.
The mall is probably paying like a flat rate fee of just maybe like, I don't know, $15,000 a month or something just to play music, something like that, you know, because like you don't need music at a mall, but like it kind of helps the ambience. But I'm
Yeah, that's
assuming it's
true.
probably a flat rate fee. That money just goes to the artist and however many times their song is played. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. On a completely different note, since you are like Barong's meme lord, I guess.
Yes.
What do you think is your favorite meme of this year so far, in 2020?
Actually, wait, let me look at it. I remember there was one that did really, really well. Actually, it wasn't on Barong. It was actually on Yellow Claw's page. Someone on Twitter like
I wasn't.
tagged them in
Yeah.
a.
I wasn't even talking Barong. I was just talking in general, like your favorite meme
Oh,
format.
in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but please,
'Cause, yeah.
please share this
Okay.
this meme too. Now you have me curious.
So there was someone who tagged Yellow Claw on Twitter, and it's an Indonesian kid, and this Indonesian kid said like, "Oh, did you know Yellow Claw is from this small town in Indonesia?" Obviously, it's not. They're from the Netherlands, and he was just trying to start a meme, and then I was like, okay, I can use this to like somehow engage the Indonesian followers. So I just made Yellow Claw tweet out in Indonesian saying like, "No, we're not from that area. We're from this other area." And that got like, I think like within the first couple of hours, it's like 50,000 likes or something. And yeah, that was my favorite meme that I made. But this year in general, fuck, I don't know, dude. What has been going on this year?
Like my favorite
Which meme?
in like is probably like the coffin dance meme, but just because I like Astronomia, just because I love I love Vice Tone, so that's like probably been it for me.
Mine would. Okay, so you know that Caramel Dancing song?
I think so.
No.
Which one is it? Oh my god, I know the name, but I feel like I need to hear it.
It's like this Euro dance track that goes like na 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 na.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
I didn't know that. I didn't know the name of that. Yeah.
yeah, so like that song combined with people just laying on the ground while there's like flashing lights, that's like
Oh yeah. That one is
Oh, yeah,
funny. It's like the
that's
Animal
so
Crossing
good.
ones and what.
yeah, exactly. So those ones are dope, and then the coffin dance one is dope too.
John,
Yeah.
Victor, you guys got a couple?
I was gonna say like that one's probably my favorite. The one like I'll see like the ones from like Pokemon Dungeon, right? They would have like the Wigglytuff like laying on the floor or something like, and they'll have the flashing lights and that song playing in the background. That one's fucking hilarious.
It's like the quarantine mega song, you know?
That and like the cat staring at the phone like while like
Oh!
you're like laying in the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. That one's really good too. There was the hamster and then the cat
Yeah.
that was like just looking at the phone
Yeah.
like from above. Yeah, that was really good.
I just like all the ones that have like an animal looking directly into the camera and just people posting that.
Yeah.
So
Or the cat videos with like the tube and then the cat's trying to grab something.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen?
Sounds good.
Have you seen the video? It's like it's a series of pictures. It's like a gerbil, I guess, crawling into a tube and just sitting in the tube, and then it's another stock image of someone just like taking the tube and putting it up to
I
their
saw
mouth
that on
and like
Twitter.
shooting the fucking.
Alinity.
It's so good. Oh no. Okay, Victor. Throwing.
I don't know what other memes are, dude. They're just, it's weird. Like in the beginning of the year, there was a lot of memes coming out and like a lot of things just getting like big.
Yeah.
But recently, it's been kind of slowing down. I mean, it makes sense, right? With the whole
Super serious.
protests, with the protests and stuff, it's not really like the time to make memes anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like the fires right in Australia, and then
yeah,
Corona, and then now these protests. It's been pretty
War.
serious.
I gotta give props to.
I mean,
Oh, the war too. I forgot about that. That's how crazy this shit is that we forgot about our potential war.
Yeah, it's like.
oh, dude, yeah.
I gotta give props to anybody who like does like year recaps of anything or just like has to do like history or whatever, because like I can barely remember like everything that happened in like a year. There's so much like to unpack. It's like how do you like manage to, especially those people who have to do like I don't know like who do like the meme rewinds. It's like I could not remember all the memes of like a year, let alone all the events. So like,
Dude, like I feel like there was, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe last year was the same, but I felt like this year we're only like 6 months in, and there's just been so much shit that's gone on compared to like last year. Last year was pretty slow in my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
Every month there's been like something bad happening this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'm just waiting for the season finale or the series finale of Earth
Yeah.
in like December, which is just gonna be like a meteor headed towards Earth, and then we're just done. That's it. It's
Yeah.
over.
I don't think I'm
I-
looking forward to that, but
Bro, like I mean, if we were to go and like we were to just like end, right? I would rather have like a meteor hitting us and it's like instant burn to death
Yeah.
instead of like a virus killing everyone off slowly, or like a zombie apocalypse killing everyone else, like people slowly, or aliens killing us
Yeah.
slowly. It's just that dying slowly part sucks, dude. Like,
Yeah. Everybody like.
you know,
There's like a lot of people that would be like, zombie apocalypse would be so cool. I would just like swords and fucking
Yeah,
kill them
nah,
all
dude.
or whatever. But I'm like, dude, no, like it's not like The Walking Dead. You're not gonna live. Chances are you're
Yeah,
not
it's
gonna
like
live.
it's cool. It's like cool on TV shows and games and stuff, but I mean, in reality,
Yeah.
it's like it's fucking scary, you know? Like I mean, like at least in
Yeah.
LA here, like
Yeah.
when the coronavirus immediately hit, people were like, "Yeah, we have like these bunkers and shelters and shit. We've been ready for this forever." And like then you have like people in LA scrambling for like groceries and like crazy ass lines just to like get some like canned food and shit.
Yeah, bro.
And
yeah,
thinking about it, I'm like, if we really were in like an apocalypse, at least we would be fucked in LA because like it's such a dense area
Mm,
and food is so scarce in a sense,
dude,
right?
like
Mm.
I feel bad for everybody in New York right now. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Like, I always think about it this way: like, if our governments can't even handle a pandemic properly, how are you gonna handle a zombie apocalypse?
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
It's like
with
we'd-
bullets.
we'd get to
instead
like
of-
Walking Dead
Yeah.
territory in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, the with bullets thing, right? That's one thing I guess would make sense because America is really good with like firearms, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys just have it
I was
everywhere.
just joking, but like, yeah,
Yeah, like I guess America would handle a zombie apocalypse pretty well. Like, yeah, there's gonna be like people trying to grab stuff from like grocery stores because they feel like they need to stay in and like try to avoid zombies. But like, I don't think a zombie apocalypse would even last a week in America. You know, a person
yeah.
sees a zombie, he'll just be like, I'm gonna shoot that. Like,
Yeah, but then again, it's
Yeah.
like we also have to think about the fact that it would be like nobody knows exactly what a zombie apocalypse would look like, because
right. You don't even know how these zombies would act.
yeah, it's like everybody has like the idea or whatever, like because of The Walking Dead or whatever. But there's also out there so many different like renditions of it. There's like the ones where they move slowly, the ones where they move fast, the
Yeah.
ones where they're just people
Left
with
for Dead zombie
yeah, the
with
ones
like big jump.
yeah, and then there's the ones
that would
where
suck,
like
dude.
yeah, there are ones where there's like mutations, and the ones where it's like I don't know that you could kill them with a body shot or like with the head only. Or it's like it's stuff like that. It's like you don't know what you're
Where
gonna
they-
deal with. It's
The resistant to bullets, where they're just like, yeah,
yeah, it's like it's spooky stuff. It's like
ones that regenerate too. I've seen like, you know how like they'll break their arm off and like reattach. Yeah,
it's
Imagine like the zombie apocalypse we get. It's just this virus that makes you vigorously jerk off in the streets.
that would be terrifying.
just people in the streets like, oh yeah, it's like, what's wrong with that guy, man? And he just comes all over you and you get infected. You know. That's the zombie apocalypse of 2020.
that's August for you.
Somebody's gonna make that. Like somebody's gonna take that idea and they're gonna make it into like a show or something. I swear.
Dude, they need to make a movie about that. That's gonna be like blockbuster, whatever. Well, I don't know the words for it. What is it called? Like when a movie does so well.
Yeah, Blockbuster. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, blockbuster. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be like the new Shaun of the Dead kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. I think on that note, I think we're reaching about the end of our episode time. I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So on that note, it's like, is there anything like any final words you want to give before?
I wanna say, go listen to my music. I guess I don't know. I don't know, dude. I hate self-promoting in a way, but like, yeah.
This isn't even
Listen to my-
self-promoting yet. Like we'll have a point where you plug
Ah.
everything, but like this is just like anything else you want to say.
anything else I want to say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like there was that one thing we were talking about before the podcast started about like how sending one thing every day, like people that do that, like you guys, like the it's pizza time comment,
Yeah.
right? Like we were talking about like how I have some friends that have people that sends them one thing every day, and I was just gonna tell you guys this story about there's this one dude who follows my friend on Snapchat, and every day he always sends a video of him ringing a bell, and then it just says good morning every day.
That's a nice one.
So yeah, I don't know how people like get annoyed by stuff like this. You know, it's dope.
Yeah. All right.
So
Well, thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate that. So I guess that'll be. Do you have like any? I guess now is the time where you can like plug all your socials. You know, like
Okay.
if you have anything.
You can, I guess people who are listening can follow me on Instagram. It's SIHK 2 times SIHK, and then same thing on Twitter. Check out my stuff on Spotify. It's just sick. And I just released a new remix of Seek Bromance by Timberg Avicii, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, sick. All of Sihk's stuff will be in the description of the YouTube, the the SoundCloud. Spotify won't have that, I don't think. So sorry.
Mm.
And then I guess for everything
Patreon.
for everything podcast related, it'll be in the description as well. All of our personal stuff also in the description. We have a Patreon link now to
And
if we hit
we
a
Do you have an
100
OnlyFans?
go for it.
Do you
huh?
have an OnlyFans? Do you have
Not
an
yet,
OnlyFans?
not yet.
Not yet. We're working on that.
We're
though.
considering it,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're considering it. It's
Yeah, do
tough
it, dude.
times.
Take pictures of pizza.
Yeah, and just totally. But yeah, we have a Patreon now. If once we hit $100 per month, then whatever episode we record next, I will be eating a full raw onion during the recording of that episode. So yeah, pay us $100 a month, and
It's gonna be
I'll
a
ruin an
full
episode.
fat onion too.
Dude, I fucking love onions though. Like I can eat like raw onions, no problem.
So it's gonna be like a big fat one. Like he has to eat the whole thing on.
All right.
Like an
No.
apple, like he just like
Yeah.
bites into it.
And then,
Yeah.
and we also have our Discord server. Please join that if you haven't already. And
Please throw memes in chat.
yeah. And on that note, thank you everybody so much for tuning in. We'll see you all in next episode. Later.
Peace out.
Peace.